Welcome back, my dear. So today we are making a unisex bomber jacket, as you see. So if this is your first time, you are welcome. Kindly subscribe to Yvonne Winifred UG so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video. So my pieces are already folded into two. This is the front with the 1.5 inches zipper allowance, and this is the back. Both of them are folded into two. I'm starting the measurements from that center back going across. So for the full length, I just used 23 inches, but I subtracted 3 inches for the elastic waistband of a different fabric at the hemline down there. So I'm not considering that now. I'll just consider it later. So for the half of the shoulder measurement I'm working with it is 8 inches, but I increased it to 9 because it is a free jacket. It is not all that fitted. If you want it fitted, you can do 8 or 8.5. So I mark the 9 inches at the chest line here. And now I can connect those 2 points. So usually I also use 8 inches for half of the armhole measurement, but for this I used 9 inches for this size. So guys, for the neckline I'm using 3 inches neck width, 1 inch for back depth, and 3 inches for the front depth. And the neckline I'm working with is a curved neckline, simply like that. So now back here at half of the armhole measurement, I'm slanting my shoulder by 1 inch and connect back to the neckline like that, and right away I add the joining allowance at the shoulder of half an inch, and then also connect a line there. So moving on, whatever I have remaining here, which is 8 inches, I mark its midpoint at 4 inches, then just carve out an armhole curve like that, and that is simply that. I'm using the same armhole curve for both front and back. So guys, now I divide the bust measurement by 4, and I decided to add 2 inches since it is a free jacket. 2 inches is both sewing and ease allowance. I think I'll be using just half an inch for sewing. 1.5 inches is the ease allowance. So that is it. After I just cut it just as you see, and divided the front into 2 like that. So now I can move on to cutting the sleeve. So even on the sleeve, at this point I have my piece folded in 2. I want 2 sleeves from it. So again, remember, the sleeve length should be shortened because we will be adding a wristband of an elastic material of about 3 inches. So starting off here, I've just marked the cap's height of 4 inches, and now I'm just going to just carve kind of an S on top here for the sleeve. It is not all that modified, it's just simple for just, a bomber jacket. But make sure that you check out the allowance, anyway, the measurement that you have there, so that it fits with your armhole curve. So guys, for the sleeve opening, I'm working with 5 inches sewing allowance included, and then I connect those 2 points like that. This entire sleeve after sewing will be about 25 inches in length, but this first piece is 25 minus the 3, which is 22, plus the sewing allowances. So consider that. So after that, I get my 2 sleeves like that. So now guys, we get to the welt pocket. So I marked 3 inches down and 4 inches up from the sides to place my pocket piece. So this is the first pocket piece. It is onto the right side of the main piece. This is one of them. So guys, it is 7 inches by 9 inches. You might be wondering, that is the measurement. It is one piece, not folded, and it is just placed just as you see it, kind of diagonally like this. If you want it straight, you can do that. So now guys, to mark out my piece, I marked 1 inch from the top here, and also from the sides 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch this side and 1 inch the other side. And I marked a rectangular box here which is close to 0.5 inches, more than 0.5 inches, because it is 0.6 inches. And I'm just going to go run a straight stitch all around this rectangular box, and I'll bring it back to show you what next. So here it is. I've already run a straight stitch, as you see, and that is how my piece is now. So guys, I'm going to mark the midpoint of this rectangular box. So in the middle there, and from the either sides of this box, I'm marking ½ inch this side and another ½ inch from the other side, like that. And for this, I'm just going to connect some diagonal lines from that ½ inch going to the sides, like this, going to the corners, like that. 2 diagonal lines going to the corner from the midpoint that I marked of this rectangle. So I'm just going to cut out what I've marked. So I'm cutting this midpoint line. I'm going to cut up to the ½ inch I marked from the side, and then go diagonally to the corners like this. 2 diagonal lines, as you see, so they form a small triangle there. And even the other side, I'm doing the same. Thanks to Dummy Dimension, I learned this from her. And then like that, and this side like that. So now from this cut, I'm going to push this pocket piece inside to the wrong side. Mind you, we've been doing all that onto the right side. So now we are pushing all this onto the wrong side where the pocket will be. So this is how it looks like at this point. Just take it to the ironing box, and press it down so that it looks neat. So that's how it will look like. So this is it after ironing. It looks just like that. So now guys, I'm going to push my piece to, kind of, it curves just as you've seen. It's not going to be overlapping, but it will stop exactly where that opening stops. It's kind of, we are covering the other opening that we've created, like that. It doesn't overlap, but it just, that curve stops where the opening starts from, and then iron it down, and then cut another piece that is exactly like that, and just pin it together, right sides facing each other, and then sew. You have to make sure you sew exactly along where the other diagonal line stopped, where there is that small triangle. You'll be seeing it on either side, or where the 1 inch stopped from the either sides of this pocket. And sew all along, only at the pocket pieces. And guys, this is what I have. So it is a simple welt pocket, very easy, and it is done. I'll just do the same onto the other side, finish up like that. So you see where I told you to sew, they are close to that small triangle that was formed after the diagonal lines. And guys, that is what we have so far, and I think from there we can move on. So at this point, I join the sleeves, join the sides, front and back together. These are the pockets inside, and if you have any excesses around the pockets, you can cut it out. That is how they look like. I like what I see. And now we have to move on to to finishing the jacket. So guys, first off, along the sleeves, around the wrist here, we have to add another piece that is, in an elastic fabric, and I'm using this one. So I'll just measure out whatever I need and cut out the excess. And when you're sewing this piece, you stretch it a little bit so that it creates kind of little gathers, for a nice finishing around that wrist part, and also down at the waistline, as you'll be seeing soon. So now this is along the waist, or the hemline of the jacket. So I have this piece. My piece was not enough, so I just joined it. And remember, along the zipper allowance, I'll be just joining another Ankara piece. So it is 3 inches plus 1.5 inches of the zipper allowance. So altogether it is 4.5 inches, and it is all these pieces are folded into 2, as you see. On fold, it is 3.5 inches. Half inch is the joining allowance, and the 3 inches is the addition that we subtracted at the beginning. So I'll join all these pieces together and then join them to the main piece, and that will be all. So now guys, all this piece, you just consider an elastic fabric, or a stretchy fabric, not even elastic fabric, a stretchy fabric, plus the main, plus the Ankara that we added, and you subtract just a few inches so that it gives you this kind of elastic, that you see that this is what I'm talking about, this elastic feel around the waist. So when you're sewing it up again, you stretch it a little bit. So now guys, you have to move on to the zipper. So this is the zipper that I have. I'll be joining it starting from down. So remember, we have 1.5 inches here for the zipper. I'll be folding it into 2, that is 3/4 of an inch twice, folded twice, and then attach it to the zipper, and then I'll just top stitch up to the top. I'll do the same even to the other side, like this, double fold by 3/4 of an inch, because we have 1.5 inches as zipper allowance. And the zipper you should use is the zipper that separates into 2, it splits up into 2. It is the correct zipper for a bomber jacket. So I'm just going to go do this, and I'll bring back my jacket. So here we are, you see. So now the double folding was to achieve a clean finish inside, because that part of the zipper is not easy to overlook. So guys, you see here at the zipper, it is more than what we need. So push this down and then cut the excess. Make sure you push it down. If you push it up, you'll just spoil your zipper. So this is what I do. And now I'm just going to fold this together like this, so that we cut a collar. It is going to also be in the stretchy fabric. So I get the measurement of this entire neckline, and remember, it is now on fold. So it is 9 inches, 9 times 2, because it is on fold. I get my 18. So I need a piece that is 18 inches long, plus maybe half an inch for sewing allowance. So this is the piece that I have folded into 2. It is also 2.5 inches. Half an inch is the joining allowance to the main jacket, and in length I'm going to fold it into 2 like this to get the length And after getting the length, I told you the width is 2.5 inches, half inches for joining it. I'm just going to make a curve from the side that is down like this, just a slight curve as you see, and then I cut that out so that the jacket will be sandwiched in between the two pieces of this collar. So I'll just be folding 1/2 inch inside from the middle so that I top stitch on top of this collar after sandwiching my jacket in between along the neckline. So it will go on round like this, so that when it is flipped onto the right side it will look like this. So guys, that is it. You can make any supplements or compliments in the comment section. So from all that, we came out with this jacket. I didn't use any facings or linings, but if you want, please use some linings and make your jacket a little bit heavier. So this was just a sample piece. This is why I made it like this, but I like what I see. So for these pockets, I think I realized I would have pushed them a little bit inside, but that was also okay. And that is it about the pockets. If you have any compliments, guys, any supplements, go on in the comment section. Let's talk more. If you have any more questions, if I didn't explain something right, please go on in the comment section. So thank you. Please remember to subscribe. Bye.